entrepreneurs, are you trying to make bigger profits in your small business? Like many of us, I'm sure you're feeling it. Business is hard. Now more than ever, you need a plan to help your business not only survive, but thrive. I'm Marcia Reiner. I'm a business strategist on a mission, and I've helped tons of small business owners to establish and implement a tangible plan that guarantees sustainable profitability and drives your growth. I want to share strategies that I've earned and learned with you on today's Profit with a Plan podcast. So I'm really excited to have a friend of mine, a new friend of mine, Dr. Agustin Rosa, and he is an international speaker, a writer, and a coach. He's the author of books, The Winning Mind, Money Game, and Speaking Well in Public. He has a PhD in social communications, a diploma in international coaching from the International School of Coaching, and is the general director of My Coach. Since 2004, he has given conferences and courses internationally in the area of personal growth, development, and of human talent. He has trained with the prestigious entities such as the International School of Coaching. We all know Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, and Fred Kaufman. Since 2013, he has been interviewed by media in more than 300 times internationally, and he has given great trainings at the international level for a total of 15 countries. He has received the 2017 Inspiring Professor Award from the Tech of Monterey. So, wow, quite a resume, Dr. Agustin. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Excellent. Well, all my listeners are just going to love listening to that beautiful voice you have in the accent. I've got a weakness for accents, so I'm so glad to have you on.
I'm very happy to be with you today.
Good. So many of today's listeners have a process or a service that they've been very successful with. Why should they be thinking about coaching others with that process?
For me, one of the most exciting experiences that I had on my past and I have now today working with people, with entrepreneurs, with coaches, and with people, for me is sharing all your experience with people that they want to achieve what you want. For me is like a huge energy. Is the way that I can contribute with the world, and is the way that I can make a better world. So for me, I think that when you create a business that is successful, that you are running like very good things, when you start to share this with other people, when you start to deliver your superpower to other people, and when you help that people that they are okay, I'm not so confident with myself, or I will do this, but I'm like lack of confidence, or I don't have the skills, and you teach them with your coaching how they can set up this, how they can configure their life, or how they can make a change. This is very amazing because it's like you are creating a better world. You have more energy because you see that something that you teach to other person is going to help you, and then it's going to rise your business because you are helping more and more people every day.
Love it. Love it. I think it's really important that we share our wisdom. I think that when we have something that's worked for us successfully and we have an idea and we're able to share it and teach it, I think it creates a legacy for the folks that we can hand down or even lift up with us. So I love the idea of this coaching. So one of the questions I have for you, and I know many of our listeners have similar questions, is how do you get started in coaching?
Okay, the first thing that people say, okay, I'm going to do coaching, I'm going to prepare my customers, I'm going to study. But the thing is, from my point of view, I was studying coaching, I was doing trainings, I was doing these diplomas on coaching. But after 10 years, I decided now I'm going to teach people what I know with the tool of coaching. For me, coaching, is necessary like to be certified. But one of the most important things for me is that you start with your system, that you start with the things that you have. And after you learn other tools, you learn from other people, you learn what are the best techniques that you can implement, and you are improving like every day. But for me, if I was like 10 years ago, because I will not think, okay, the day that I will have a certification, and that will be like I need it like 5 years to do like all the coaching process. But I was 5 years waiting. Maybe the day that I have the certification, I can do coaching. And the thing is, you can do coaching with the tools that you have in that moment, with the skills that you have, because you know something that I don't know. And I want to know that. And this is, I think, that the most important thing, that you start with the things that you have.
I love that. I think that's the one thing is many people stop doing so much that, we get in our head that, oh, I need to have this certification, or I need to have, 25 years experience, or I need to have this huge success stories behind me to coach somebody. But that's not necessary. If you have a system that has been proven and you're able to do it, you don't need all of that stuff. You just need to just go out and do it. And I love what you said that, if you have something to give, you have to just give
Marcia, what happened with these things? When I was like doing coaching with the International School of Coaching in Barcelona, it was like very amazing because they have a methodology. When I was doing that with Tony Robbins or with Fred Kaufman, they are different kind of coachings, and the methodology is different. So I understand at the beginning, okay, this is step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then when I meet Fred Kaufman in Monterrey, it was like, no, Agustin, this is not working. You have to do this, and then this. And that now it's like, oh, but this is other thing that I know from all my life. So all the coachings certifications, they will be different. But what I love is to learn from the best from each one. And sometimes for me, I prefer like to do like a coaching to make results, that not to be like 1 hour. Okay, what's happened? Let's go deeper in the problem, and then tell me, and then I find this, and then could you speak more about this feeling? And after that, you see by your experience that the thing or the skill that this person has to change is that one. So for me, it's like be yourself on the coaching program, not try to do like all the methodologies, because for one customer will be one methodology working very well, and for other customer will be other different.
I love it. And I think when I'm working with my clients, of course I have my own methodology, and we've got a system and a schedule to be on. But I use the feedback from the client to tell me, where do we need to spend more time, and where do we need to have, race through that one a little bit more. I think the interesting part is to be authentic and let the client know that they're driving the growth that we're having. And this is so important to me, because you had said a lot of things that about, oh, well, and the fluffy and the method, and, and we're going to ask you these particular questions in this order and get down to this little itty bitty thing. For us in our industry of coaching and consulting, I think that's kind of given us a bad name, or not necessarily a bad name, but people kind of shy away because they don't want to get into the deeper stuff. They want action. They want tangible results. They want something that they can put together that's going to work for them right now. What's the fast track? And I think having that ability to move forward is the key.
And in this process, for example, I understand one thing, because, for example, when I do coaching with my customers and I speak about the strategy, how to be on media, or how to create a book, or how to be a better speaker, or other skills that I'm developing with them, one thing that for me is working sometimes is like speaking about my experience. Okay. Because sometimes there are people that they say, oh, this is amazing, I'm going to do. And after 2 weeks, they say, "Oh, it was amazing. But did you do?" "No, I'm trying to do." And it's like, "Okay, let's go. I'm going to tell my experience." So after I tell my experience in 5 minutes, they say, "Oh my God, I understand now." And other clients, I say, "Okay, let me tell an history of one guy that is called Antonio, and he has this problem. If you were Antonio, what are you going to solve on this?" And then say, "Oh, this is like very easy. He has to do that." And then he's like, "Oh my God, this is the thing that I have to do." So they are not like one unique technique, but if you use your best skills, if you try to do like you said, understand your customer, and some of them they won't like. I have, for example, one customer now that he's like, "I'm going to make like profits right now." "Okay, let's go to create the strategy." Okay, he has the strategy. "Okay, let's move to other." And I have other customers that they say, "Okay, this is like very interesting, but you told me like 5 things and I'm overwhelmed. So I need like to breathe." "Okay, let's go to breathe. Let's go to change the topic. Let's go to say the words in other way."
Totally. And I just had one of my previous guests. We were talking about communication styles, and some people are auditory, some people are visually, some people are kinetic, so they need to feel what you're saying. So how you say it also helps in coaching. So this has been a great conversation. So what are some of the areas that you coach to? You had mentioned the book, and you had mentioned some other things. Tell me a little more about that.
Okay, what the things that I love to do is like I start to write a book, and, and now I'm on my third one. And the thing that for me, I'm like a guy that from since I was like very young wants the things like very quickly. And I am like a little bit frustrated when I want to do like a project in like 5 months, and after 2 years I don't have the project. So I try to focus on results. And for me, the things that I do on my coaching is I help people to grow their business, but from the point to be with a better brand. I like to work with branding, with marketing, and with strategy. So we can develop. And in all of these things, I love to do like personal growth. This is one of the topics that I love. Like, and it depends the person, the needs, what they want. I'm a person that I like to be like with a very good relationship with my clients. So if they are creating like a crowdfunding campaign, I will set up like, I'm okay, let me check your competitors. Let me check the keywords. Let me do some research so I can give you more information. So this is something that I love to do like in my programs, like to help people, but not only to say, okay, let's do this. If not, okay, if I can involve, I can find some information, or maybe I have this contact on my network, I will present to my clients.
So it sounds like it's a pretty well diverse opportunity for coaching. I know that some of the people I work with are in the professional services industry, such as attorneys and CPAs or chiropractors and dentists. And I find that they don't realize that they have a product in them. It's the way that they handle their business. Or maybe it's a technique that they're using. So anybody can be a coach or consultant. You don't have to be, of a certain area. It doesn't have to be just the personal growth or the business growth. I mean, you could use, like you just mentioned, a whole bunch of different techniques and skill sets that you have to become a coach. Talk a little bit more about that with me.
For example, when I start all of these programs, like on the personal growth, I start on one field that it was communication. And for me, it was like very interesting because I was doing a master, and I start to say, okay, I want to do like be an expert on public speaking. And I start to do like these courses, training, conference for university students. So it was an audience that I was like very confident with them. After that, a few years later, I said, okay, let's go to do a coaching from the thing that I have. What I know at this moment is I know how to do a training, how to do a conference, and how to speak in front of a camera. So I start to do coaching with people with my field that it was communication. And that for me was like very interesting because I helped the people to develop the skills of fear of public speaking. A few years later, the people say, "Oh, Agustin, this is amazing. Why you don't create a special coaching program for people that they are politicians and they want to improve the communication because they have to speak like every day?" So I create other program that it was, but I did that because I had this long experience of 5 years doing the communication training fields on fear of public. After that, I create a book that is the one that is called Hablar bien en público, that is the public speaking.
Okay.
And that one, it helped me to understand that now I have more tools to share with people. And when people start to do this coaching, say, "Okay, Agustin, this is amazing because you have a book and you have the experience." So I have like 2 key points. Mm-hmm. A few years later, I had the opportunity on the coaching programs to move from communication to entrepreneurship. And then the entrepreneurs say, "Agustin, I need help with my pitch, my elevator pitch. I need help with my communication, how to communicate my brand. Or I need help how to improve my business." And for example, last year I was working with one guy here in Mexico, and he has a special shoes, sports shoes.
Okay.
And he was like, "Okay, this is amazing product." But he didn't have like this blue ocean. He was like competing with Nike, Adidas, and all the big brands. So for him, it was like very difficult. But we found with these programs and everything, like his target, it was people from volleyball, from volley. Uh-huh. And it was no one in Mexico doing that. So he has like a very opportunity. And with that, he started to be coach of entrepreneurs that they had a product that they want to launch on crowdfunding, but they don't have like the skills or the knowledge. So this person, when he had his product, he launched the campaign and it was like very successful on Kickstarter. He started to coach other entrepreneurs that they have other similar products to be on the market and don't spend like $1,000 per day to achieve that the campaign go to the goal.
Wow, that's great. So having that, just by being in that niche market, he was able to do that. So great. So let's talk a little bit more about what kind of results can a coach get from being a coach. I mean, what do you see with the coaches that you have worked with? What kind of opportunities does coaching bring?
For example, when the things that I see is one, for example, the first, sometimes we don't see the things that the other person that has arrived to the goal see in a different way. So for example, for me, one important thing as a coach is to learn from people that they have more knowledge than me, because this is helping me and I can help my customers at the same time to have a other perspective from the problem. Okay. Yeah, last week, for example, I was in a coaching program, and one person, it was like stuck on a situation because I have this issue and I don't know how to fix. And with the coaching, it was like, okay, let's go to give you other tools to understand the problem from other point. And after, when you move and you see the problem from this point and not from the one that you were like doing the first look and, I have this situation. This person changed radically because it was like, oh my God, now I see a solution. Or now I can be like faster than before. And for me, one thing that is very important in coaching is that you can learn from the mistake from other people. So you don't have, and for example, one thing that I did when I create the second book, I have like a very successful project. And my project, it was like broke because the legislation changed in Spain. So it was like for me very hard because I had to start from zero. And one thing that I did, it was, if Agustin was doing coaching in 2015 with Agustin in 2011 that has this broke situation and the company has to close, what will say? And when you start to understand that you can solve the problems in other way, that you are a lack of confidence, or maybe you are not in a best position because you are like focused okay on that problem. And for example, when I was in Chicago, I was like with the top CEOs on marketing, like learning from them. And when you are like listening their problems, and you are okay, I'm focused on this problem that is very small, and they are thinking in this way, so I have to move that. So this is like open your mind, and so you can like change all your life, because you don't need to be like doing the same every day. You can learn the best from that person in the coaching program, and then 5 years of experience of one person, you can improve in 1 hour to your business. So it will be like very different perspective, and your results will rise like per 10 times in less than 1 year. So this is something that I did with some of the customers.
Yeah, I agree. I think coaching really changes the trajectory of your business, and it launches you at a faster pace, that 10 times rate than you ever could have got on your own. So yeah, I think that I'm a fan of coaching. You're a fan of coaching. I think that there's a missing piece though, and I think it's the business of coaching that we often miss out. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a piece that business owners that have a process and a system can implement coaching into their existing practice as another income opportunity. And then from there, sorry, my grandson has decided to come in here during the filming, and he's wanting to climb up on my lap. Come here, you can come.
He wants to learn from coaching.
No. But I think that there's an opportunity for business owners to look at coaching and adding that layer to their practice as another income opportunity. And that income opportunity can be vast. I mean, when you're coaching people on different ideas, and it not only, it gives you that teacher syndrome, and I know that's not a technical term, but when you teach others, you learn yourself. So you relearn yourself, and then you can make it better. So I love the idea of it. And I'd love to talk about a little bit more of how we can teach the entrepreneurs that are doing their own gig that they can coach others too and make it a business.
For example, one thing that I was doing in 2013, after I meet Harfaker in Madrid, it was like he was like speaking, okay, you have these tools, you have these techniques and everything, but the most important thing that you can do is to have a coach to motivate you in the correct moment, to help you to fix some issues and to go straight with your goals. So we start like 5 friends, and sometimes you don't have to be like I said before, a certified coach to do coaching. You can be in this very important group. So that we call the Winner Mindset Club.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
And it was like very interesting because it was, we start 5 people, and it was like very easy because it was a dinner, and everyone, we had like the commitment to once per month to meet all the group, to do a dinner, to have a very good time, and then to do this 2 minutes to speak about your project, the situation of your project, the issues and obstacles that you have at that moment, and what is the commitment to do for next season.
Love it.
And with this, imagine what happened. I had one friend that he was like very active, and we were like slowly on the process. And when we saw that in 1 month he did the things that we did in 3 months, it was okay, we have something to learn from here. So that motivates us to do like more things in less time, to be more efficient. The second thing, it happened, at least to me and other partners, sometimes we have some problems because we don't sell what we want. Some projects, they reduce like the volume, so you are like more free but less income. So when you are doing coaching, you can charge, and you have other a stream of income that can help your business. And the other thing that happened after 6 months doing that, and we were friends, entrepreneurs friends, one thing that happened, I received one award from an international company. One of my friends sold his company for it was like $500,000 of the dollar in euros, the tax change, and everyone achieved so many things on that process because we were like focused, and we start at, like I said, 5 people, but the good thing, after 6 months we were 30 people. Because they say, oh, this is amazing, people. And you told to the experience to your partners and to your friends. And they say, oh my God, Agustin achieved this. And this person did this company. And for example, yesterday, I had a remember on Facebook that said that I was with the CEO of Hyperloop, the international company in United States. And he was in Spain because we were doing this Congress. And I was participating as a speaker, and he was other speaker of the event. So we meet and then we share the contact. So this is something like very interesting when you are like focused on the things that you want to do, you grow. And one very important thing of coaching and doing coaching with others, sometimes you want to speak about one problem that you have in your company with an employee, with a client, with an internal issue that you have, with a problem to grow. And when you try to speak this on your family, with your brother, your sister, your mom, they are not on the same mood. So they are going to say, oh, but this is, don't worry. Or you understand, you have to close your company because it's better to work for other person. But when you are with this coaching program with people that they want to achieve the same goal that you want to do, or you want to achieve, or you achieved on the past, you can speak the same language. They can understand you better, the issues that you have, and they can give you a good advice. And don't listen the words. Maybe it's better to close this, or don't do that. Take your time, free your weekends, and say no. But I love my project.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a perfect description of what we call here masterminds. Yes. And I think that's the epitome of a beautiful coaching group, is that you're all moving in the same direction and you have the same mindset, and you're supportive of the people that are in there, and they're supportive of you. And because of that, the intensive growth that comes out of that is just beautiful. I love hearing stories like that. Agustin, this has been wonderful. You've shared so many ideas and so many success stories on how coaching has improved businesses. How do folks get a hold of you?
What?
How do people get a hold of you? How do listeners find you? Yeah.
I'm on Instagram, like Agustin.coach, on Facebook, Agustin Rosa, and on my website, my coach. I will share with you my links.
Perfect. We'll have those links on the podcast notes for everybody that are listening. So this has been a great opportunity to hear someone internationally that are doing what we're doing in the U.S. and how beneficial it's been for businesses to get involved in this type of coaching. So I love it. It's something I wholeheartedly believe in. It sounds like you've created a business all around it, and it's great. So you have a book behind you. Is that your first book, the yellow book?
No, this is my third one.
Your third book. Yes. Okay. So dinero, I got the money. So Juego, what is Juego? What's the name of the book?
Juego is game, and dinero is money.
Okay, I got that. Okay. Cool. Love it. So writing books. There you go. Now I can see it.
The Winner Mind in Spanish.
Okay. Cool. Are those books translated into English for our listeners here?
Not yet. I'm working on the translation of the Juego or Game of Money, and it will be in a few months on Amazon, on United States.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. So send me a message when that gets up there, and we'll make sure that we put an update in on the podcast to let everybody know where it is. But if you want to learn Spanish, or you're Spanish, then that's a great opportunity for you. So thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. So listeners, I hope you've gotten an idea or two that you found that you can put into your business today that'll help you be more profitable. If you'd like to learn just how your business can not only survive or thrive, go to my site, failproofbiz, that's biz.com, and get my 6 great tips that will help you increase your cash flow right now. While you're there, join my 6-day big profit strategy sprint that will get your business seeing bigger profits fast. So I know Dr. Agustin and I would love to hear your questions and your feedback, or even some ideas for future shows. So please subscribe and comment on today's podcast right here. And you can always catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite podcast players. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. So until then, make your plans and profit with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.